Just arrived on Hillshed for the day, and some of our grass is starting to grow a little bit. That's cool. And we had a lot of rain the last couple days, so I was worried about there being wetness in the basement, but it's doing good. All this stuff is good. The willow tree didn't even fall over because the things that piled up. The birds were out of food and they were pretty upset about it, but they've got food now. Got tons more mulch, water for the plants, more mulch, more garden soil. So add that to the collection. And since there's no horrible things to deal with today, I get to just work on fun stuff all day. And it's gonna be a beautiful day. So we'll see what kind of things I end up doing. All this looks pretty good still. None of it really looks like it washed away or anything. The tarp held up perfectly. No moisture anywhere. There's a little bit sitting right there. Maybe I'll brush that off. It'll probably dry up in the sun today though. And down in the basement, we're looking good. Nice and dry. No new moisture. All the old moisture is sucking up to the edges and disappearing. When we finally get this dry, I'm gonna scrape all of this nastiness down, and we're gonna paint all the ceilings with a paint that kills mold and prevents it from coming back. And I'm gonna spray all the walls and the floor with this product called Radon Seal Plus, which seals all of the masonry from the inside so the water can't possibly go through it, unlike a paint which could peel off. And it also blocks radon, which seems good. Nobody wants that. So that'll be the goal once that's totally dry. That looks like it filled in a lot, so maybe we'll have to dig that out today. That'll be after the fun stuff is done. I think I'm gonna start over in the picnic area. Alright, so I just finished one of the tasks that I wanted to do today, and that is the picnic area. Woo. So I moved the picnic table over here, done a nice bed of mulch to walk on. Got the tiki torches. And the one that goes on the table. Got our umbrella. It's like a little oasis. No mosquitoes will come over here, hopefully, because of all the freaking tiki torches. Unless I burn the woods down with them, jeez. Alright, so that was just a quick update. Picnic area. Alright, so I kept going with the picnic area. I ended up hanging out the swing. hammock over here. So now it's like a whole hangout area. The hammock goes across the entrance, but nobody's using it. You just clip it pretty easily. Yay! Alright, quick update. I just got done out here cleaning up this whole area and planting all of the Japanese spurge. It's called. This is a ground cover plant. It's kind of similar to like English ivy in the way that it spreads and stays low. Only the nice thing about the Japanese spurge is it creates pretty flowers in the late spring. So hopefully those will all grow really well. Ended up being a lot more of them than I thought. And then after where that ended, I spread some seed that we bought. It's supposed to be another good ground cover plant, but we're gonna try and grow it from seed and see how that goes. So far, I haven't really had too much luck growing stuff from seeds. Even the grass doesn't really seem to be coming in that great. So hopefully we'll do a little bit better on that other thing and it'll actually grow in. But right now, I'm debating whether or not I want to take a break or if I want to jump onto these. Start doing this whole area with all the boxwood winter gems. Maybe we'll start on that. Getting ready to leave Hillshed for the day. Just got done closing everything up. Ran to Lowe's and got some more bags of mulch and some more peat moss. Tomorrow we'll get back at planting. Never ended up getting to those boxwoods. But there's always tomorrow, so I'm gonna call it a day for today, and we'll see how far we get tomorrow.
Just got here for the day, and there's freaking turkey. There's a freaking goddamn turkey. Still in my Crocs. So it would be crazy if all of them were on the property. He was scooting. He was so scared. It feels so warm here.
Yeah.
Is that a goddamn snake? Look at the grass is good. Gotta see my picnic table. We have more plants we're dropping off, and we're going to the city to get lunch and go to Lowe's there. Then we're coming back here, and then I have to work on one of my final papers. But I'm gonna sit at the picnic table. Have fun. This is so cool. I was gonna stay home to write my paper, but then I got sad that I haven't seen hillshed in like 4 days, I think. Look at the grass. Look at the grass. Look at all of what they messed up. Look at the birds. Cuties. Look at that cutie. Turn up his light.
On Hillshed. It's a really nice day. Got the swing and the hammock set up. I think I might go to get in the hammock. What the heck? Jen's already in there.
Goodbye to all of the pretty prizes. Planted all of the new azalea bushes that we picked up today. And Tony did a lot of work on the side of the hill. I barely got to do anything, but I did finish one of my term papers, so that's cool. But, bye! Oh. I think it was today. I don't even know if I made a video about it, but there was a turkey. What are you doing?
Oh, okay. Do you want to go show them the things up there?
Yeah, I can't go that far because I have... Tony has been planting those. He did seed. And then... Yeah, you can't really see it when I zoom up.
You want me to take it down there?
Yeah.
Japanese spurge, woo! Seed for something I can't remember what it's called. Woo! And more Japanese spurge, yay! It takes so long to plant each individual thing, but eventually maybe it'll cover the whole side of the hill and it'll be really awesome looking and it will all have been worth it. But until then, I'm just gonna say goodbye for the week. So, bye Hillshed! Just arrived on Hillshed for the day. And it's supposed to be another nice day, but it just got a little cloudy. But still, it's nice and warm. Not too windy or anything. Got some new trees today. Got something I've been looking everywhere for, which is a magnolia tree. So, I don't know if we'll get around to planting that today, but we got it. Got some pumpkins and some acorn squash for Jen to plant. And I got her some more of these cool little things for her rock garden. So hopefully she'll enjoy those. And then another thing that I found that I was really excited about is it comes out my favorite color, and it's this Northern Lights Mandarin Lights azalea. It's a deciduous azalea, so it doesn't keep its leaves in the winter like all the other ones we have so far. But it has giant flowers and they're orange, so hopefully that'll come out really cool. I'm gonna probably plant that today. I got a couple more packs of the Japanese spurge to plant. Chickadee just got here saying good morning. Hello, Chickadee. I still got these boxwoods that I haven't planted yet. And it turns out they don't really get as big as I thought they did. So I'm not sure if I'm still gonna keep them over here. I was kind of playing with the idea of planting them over in the picnic area. And I was thinking of doing them right along this back edge and kind of forming like an arched wall of boxwoods right there. And I think that would look really cool because we're gonna end up, all these trees are basically dead. So all these little ones right here gotta come out. So I'll probably end up expanding this whole area over to include this. And then if that's the case, I can always get some more boxwoods and plant them over and around and make like a whole nice defined area. Speaking of hole, I just fell in a giant hole. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking of doing right now. So let's start planting, see how far we get. Kind of feeling tired and shitty today, so I might end up taking a break and going to Lowe's and getting some more mulch and everything too while I'm out. So we'll see how it goes. I'll do some time lapses and updates along the way. Alright, so I just brought all the boxwoods over and set them up like I was thinking. I think it looks pretty nice. They should get a lot of sun here too, because it'll filter through and make its way over a bit. So I think I'm gonna plant these here. Let's see how it goes. Should look nice. Alright, so I just finished planting all of those boxwoods. Around the edge there, and I think it looks really nice. It frames it really nicely. And those will grow in like 3 or 4 feet tall, and they'll all start touching each other, and then they can be shaped to form a perfect wall. And I can keep getting more and just add them and kind of shape the space however I want, and it would be really cool. It might be cool to put a couple more here and kind of close that in. Or maybe, since these trees are both good, I should keep it going over to that tree and then back and have kind of a little offshoot there. Maybe we could do a cool chair or something. And then over this way, we can kind of wrap them around to that tree and then over. Or maybe just leave it open at that tree so that you can get in from that way too. And it'll be really cool. It's gonna be a lot more planting though, and a lot more boxwoods. But they've still got them at Costco, so maybe I'll grab a few more this week since they're a third of the price there as anywhere else. And I can keep going with this project. And it'll be fun. Just getting packed up and getting ready to leave Hillshed for the day. Got a lot more mulch. Went to Lowe's and took a break. And while I was on my way there, I got pulled over and got a ticket because our car hasn't been inspected in like 8 months. So I guess that makes sense. Can't really be too mad about that, but it does suck. And ended up planting the azalea that I got today. So that's looking nice and good. Birds are all fed and happy. Got all those boxwoods planted today. There's a bunch of storage in the entryway, but I already locked it up, so you'll just have to use your imagination. And then ended up finishing up this section down here with all the Japanese spurge. Now this area is done as well. Yay! 3 sections down. So we can get to about here. I want to say that's like 100 feet, maybe? And this road is 800 feet long, so we're an eighth of the way done. It's really not too bad. It only took a couple hours to do each spot, so it's more how expensive it's going to be to buy all this stuff than how long it's going to take to do it. But eventually it'll look pretty awesome and it'll all be worth it. But for now, I'm going to get out of here and call it a day. Come back tomorrow. Be nice tomorrow to get all 3 of these trees planted. We'll see what happens. But for now, goodbye, Hillshed. Just arrived on Hillshed for the day and brought up 12 more bags of mulch, so got a pretty decent pile going there. It might seem ridiculous, but I used like 12 bags just on this little area, so if I end up finishing all of this and that I wanted to do today, this will probably be mostly gone. But we'll see if I get it all cleaned up enough for that. When I take a break today, I'm going to run to Lowe's and get more garden soil for planting. It rained this morning, but it's already pretty dry up here. We actually have a lot of our grass seed is starting to grow, which is exciting. Catch any of it on the video because it's also short still, but it's starting to grow in pretty much everywhere. Yay! So we'll see what that looks like in a week or 2. Maybe it'll be more significant then. You can actually get a good image of it. Maybe it'll look like over here. That'd be awesome. Unlocked and see what we're looking at down the basement. I'm not expecting anything bad because it rained harder than it has this morning. We haven't had any problems, so let's see. Yay, all good. Cool. Alright, well, I'm gonna get the fan going, get the lights on, Get my tools out and probably get started expanding the picnic hangout area first. So, do some updates along the way. Woo! Found another cool lizard guy. Nice big boy. So I'm gonna go find a good safe home for him. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Where should we put you? I put all the newts over there, so I don't want to put him there too. We're not going to get this far today. I don't want to put him somewhere where I'm going to have to move him again right away. So I'll put him right there in the leaves. He's moving pretty slow because it's cold out. I bet you if we come back in like 10 minutes, he'll be gone. On Hillshed. I just finished expanding the picnic area. So I got all of this cleared out and mulched, and then this little spot over here. Idea is to plant probably 4 more of the boxwoods there. So 4, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 more total. And then if I wanted to do one here, maybe 9, 10 total, so that's not too bad. It'll be a lot of planting, but I think it would look really, really cool. Really have a defined hangout area, and then once those grow in, it'll be like its own little outdoor room almost. So we'll see if I can find enough of them for a good price. 10 more is a lot, but for now I'm gonna take a break. I think I'm gonna run to Lowe's and grab some more garden soil while it's still on sale, since we're getting kind of low, and then I might just clean up a little more and call it a day. It's getting kind of late. So I'm gonna run to those now. Getting ready to leave Hillshed for the day. So got a lot more garden soil. Got 21 more bags. So hopefully we should be good for planting. And then when I got back, I ended up cleaning up this whole area with all the rocks. So there's still a few big ones buried back in here, but other than that, it's all cleaned up. So there's one more little area that's done. So I think we're like almost halfway down the yard now with cleaning up this whole side. So just got the rest of the way to go. And honestly, the rest of it isn't as bad as the first half was, so it should go a little quicker, except for these enormous rocks that I don't even know if I'll be able to move, because we put them over here with the excavator. And now I'm going to try and move them with my hands. That should be fun. Anyway, for some random reason, we're supposed to get like 6 inches of snow tomorrow. It's already getting really cold. It's like 35 now, and it was like 60 earlier today. So I brought in all of our trees that we haven't planted. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but they're all in there. There's Jen's willow tree. That was the only spot tall enough to put it. But let's go to the window. Maybe we can look in the screen and see it. Nope, you can only see the reflection. Anyway, you'll just have to trust me. All the plants are in there, nice and warm. So, everything's done for the day. Grass seeds growing, things are planted, areas are getting cleaned up. So, I'll just keep picking away at it. Eventually, we'll have a really nice yard to hang out in before lumber prices ever come down and we can actually build the house. At least we can camp here and have fun. But I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, I forgot to clean that up. Cut down a bunch of trees through here too. Open the place up and get rid of all the dead ones. I left this stump because I was thinking it'd be cool to either make an extra seat out of it or do something where like we put a planter on it and get like maybe a plant that flows out and over, and it would look really cool. But we'll see what Jen thinks of it. If she doesn't like it, I'll just cut the stump out and bury it in mulch. Alright, that's it for the day. Bye, Hillshed. Oh yeah, me and Jennifer were talking last night and we decided that since Hillshed is the house, it'd be cool to have a name for the whole property. So when we're not just hanging out in the house, we got a name. So we decided to call the place Hillshed Acres. So one day we're gonna get a sign made and it'll be really cool. But since we're not doing anything to the house, I'll say goodbye to Hillshed Acres. Just arrived at Hillshed Acres. And got a little bit of snow. Not 6 inches like the weather said. But yeah, we got a little bit of snow. Checked the basement, everything looks good. All the flowers look good. This branch fell right in between Jen's azaleas and didn't hurt anything, so that's cool. So I'm gonna get going. I think I'm just gonna work over in this area to start with. Getting a little bit sick of falling in all of these holes all the time, so I'm gonna try and smooth this area out a bit. See how much new garbage and glass I uncover. Here's some now, yay! And see where that goes. Oh, finally learned out what these are. They are a wildflower called tulip lilies. There was one before I saw that had a flower growing on it. Apparently the leaves are not so rare, But the flowers, here we go, here's one. The flowers are very rare. So we'll keep an eye on this guy. See if that blooms some more. They look really cool. I looked up some pictures of them in bloom. So we'll keep watching that, and I'll try not to step on it. We'll see what happens. All right. Alright, time for an update. Been working on cleaning up and smoothing out all along the edge over here. Getting all the rest of the rocks and filling in the holes and everything. And disaster struck. The wall collapsed under its own excellence and pushed over these measly little metal poles. Not really that surprising, I guess, since the rocks weigh thousands of pounds and these little poles are like toothpicks. But the wall's still standing, it just fell over a little bit. And all this area is pretty smoothed out now. No big holes to fall in and trip over. Smash your head on the rock wall after you've twisted your ankle. So I'm gonna keep going. Maybe I'll set up a time lapse of what I'm doing. Maybe you can see this weird time lapse version of more of the wall collapsing later. Yay! Well, I got a little bit further. Turns out there's a lot more rocks left in here than I thought there was. And my back is on fire. It's super cold and windy here today. Just not feeling it. I'm gonna get out of here. Come back tomorrow. The weather's supposed to be beautiful. Maybe we can get a lot more done tomorrow. Get some stuff planted. It's like 60 and sunny tomorrow. Not like 35 and super windy like it is today. Alright, well, that's that. Bye, Hillshed Acres. Just arrived on Hillshed today. Oh, look at this. Everywhere I go, giant pieces of hidden glass. Anyway, just arrived. I noticed that yesterday on my video, I called this wildflower by the wrong name. I called it a tulip lily, when actually it is a trout lily. Wanted to check and see how that flower was blooming. Looks about the same. But anyway, it's called a trout lily because apparently these leaves look similar to a rainbow trout in the water. So that's how it got its name. But we've got them everywhere. Only the one is flowering though, so let's see if I come across any others in the woods anywhere that also have flowers on them. And if I do, I will keep track of them. I was gonna try and move them somewhere safe, but it says online at least that they don't transplant well and that you should just leave them where they are. So that's what I'll do. I'll probably end up stepping on it and it'll be sad, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, a much nicer day today. It's still a little windy and cold, but it's supposed to go up to 60 by the end of it. So I think it's finally safe to take all of our trees out of hibernation from down here. So the willow tree can come up and all of Jen's little plants and flowers and vegetables can come up. And my magnolia tree and my apple tree. I found out that in my excitement, I accidentally bought the wrong magnolia tree from what I meant to buy, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll still find a really nice spot for it somewhere. But I think I'm gonna start off by bringing all these out into the sun. Give them a nice watering and then go back to fixing up that area by the rock wall until I get bored with that. So, updates to come. All right, got a quick update on the trout lilies. Remember before I mentioned that the flowers were really rare, but I found 2 more over here. Flowers. One right here, a flower, and hey there. Over here, got one. Right here, got one that's almost all the way open. Any more? Nope, lots of glass though. You sure open a nice glass farm here. Must have got my order wrong. I meant to order a bunch of grass seed. I ordered a bunch of glass seed and now it's growing everywhere. It's out of control. Oh no. Quick update. It ended up taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but now this whole area is all smooth and easy to walk through without falling in a huge hole and twisting your ankle. While carrying a giant boulder to the rock wall. Nice. More glass. how many times I pick up the glass, more of it just keeps growing out of the ground. Another update. I just noticed, it must happen when the sun hits them, but all of the lilies are blooming. They're really pretty too. Quick update so you guys can see what those look like in bloom. Oh yeah, there he is. This is crazy. I wonder if you can see me. Try and be quiet. Oh, he definitely sees me. Maybe not. What are you doing? You eating all the extra seed that fell? Are you the one that flips over the rocks? You probably are, aren't you? You're huge. Oh, are you leaving? Okay, bye. Thanks for coming by. Have fun. Getting ready to leave Hillshed for the day. I ended up flattening out this whole area and cleaning up all the rocks too. So it's another spot that we have done all the way to here. I guess we only have nowhere to go in this little bit right here. But it's getting there, slowly but surely, picking away at it. So, getting ready to leave. Another beautiful day here at Hillshed Acres. Look at that windmill spinning. Woo! All the flowers are beautiful and planted. Birds are fed. We're out of bird food. I gotta get some more from Costco. Grass seed is all growing right next to the plant. Where we don't want it to be growing. Perfect. Alright, leaving for the day. Bye, Hillshed. Just arrived on Hillshed for the day. And I stopped and got the rest of the boxwoods I wanted to finish my design idea for the picnic area. They're all set in place for where I wanted them. So after I finish recording this, I'm gonna FaceTime Jennifer and see if she likes the design. And if she does, then I'll probably start planting them. much else is different here from yesterday. A nice, beautiful day. Got a nice, big, fresh bag of bird food for all of our bird friends. And I think it's just going to be a good day of planting today. So get set up and get started and do some updates along the way. Should be a nice day. Woo! Thought it'd be fun to try something new for the channel today. So I'm going to show you guys how I make my own dirt mix for planting and the technique that I use for planting things. So we start with a bucket, and I add about a gallon of water into the bucket just to get started. And then after the water's in, I fill the bucket about halfway with peat moss. And what the peat moss does is it helps to regulate the moisture inside of the soil, and it makes the soil a little bit more acidic, which is good for a lot of plants. You should always check your plant though and make sure. And then I just mix this up with the water. It starts off really powdery, but you mix it for a minute and the peat moss really absorbs all of the water well, holds it all in. And I usually just mix with my bare hands, open fingers so that everything can flow through. And then you end up with a nice soupy mud like that. And then I add about another gallon of water to that. I've found through experience that it's easy to do this in stages rather than just to try and mix it all at once. It's really hard to mix. So then take some garden soil. I usually do about half a bag at a time. So like I said, it's really hard to mix all of it at once. But if you do it in stages, it's a lot easier. And this way it makes the peat moss mix with the dirt a lot better, instead of just ending up with a big pocket of peat moss somewhere in your dirt. Need a little more soil. Hold on. It's always easier to break up the chunks before you pour it in, rather than do it in the bucket. So then fill it right to the top with dirt, and then slowly work that through the peat moss and dirt and water that we already have mixed together. And it usually takes a couple minutes to mix it all together really well. And then, if you bought good garden soil, and it should have fertilizer in it already for the plants, and then the peat moss helps the moisture regulation, adds acid, and obviously the water adds moisture. And then you end up with this beautiful goo for planting. So that's what we're gonna do next. All right, so I already got all my holes dug, and I dug the hole for these boxwoods almost as deep as the pot. So you'll see the roots are sticking up a couple inches higher than the ground, and that's so that we can mound the roots, and that helps it so that they don't hold on to too much moisture and rot out. So to start, I'm gonna pour about a third of my dirt mix into the hole and really push it down, work it in. Make sure you push it into the sides of the hole and against the native dirt. You don't want any of the native dirt touching where you're planting, because it could leave air pockets and then that causes root rot. So once you've got a nice little bowl shape in your hole, you want to grab your plant, give it a couple whacks on each side, and then it should just slide right out of the container. Shake loose any of that extra dirt, that trash dirt. If your roots are nice and exposed like these, then you're good. Otherwise, break away the dirt from the bottom, and then just take it, plop it in your hole, and just work it back and forth into that dirt. Make sure there's no air pockets anywhere. And then once it's in place, backfill around it with the rest of the dirt from our bucket. And I just do that by hand. Make sure to push it down into the sides so that there's no empty space, no air pockets anywhere, because those will cause root rot. And bugs will get in there and eat away at things. So it's best to fill it in nice and tight. And do a good mound. Use the entire 5-gallon bucket of dirt that we made and just mound around it. You make your own little hill just for the plant. And then it's got plenty of room for its roots to expand and grow out as the plant gets bigger. And it'll all be this good soil and peat moss that we made rather than the junky clay dirt that's around this area. So I'm gonna repeat that for the other 3 holes that I've dug, and then we'll mulch. Alright, so I finished planting all the other plants and I spread mulch all around these. And what you want to do is push the mulch right up to the base of the plant, thin, and then spread it out thicker from that point as it goes on. So get it real close to the base and then spread it out. And what the mulch does is, especially in a climate like New York, it helps keep the roots moist when we don't get rain, and in the winter it helps keep the roots from freezing because this mulch produces its own heat as it biodegrades, and that's enough in most cases to keep roots from freezing if it doesn't get too cold. And for that reason, I found a couple palm trees and banana trees that we can plant here, and as long as we do a wicked thick base of mulch, they should survive the winter. So we'll give that a shot and see how it goes. But for now, these are all done being planted, they're all mulched, and this area is starting to look really nice. All right, so the last 2 are planted and mulched. And the only step that's left on these is to water everything. And while we're watering, I thought I should mention a couple things about my planting techniques. And one is that I use peat moss as a soil treatment. And while peat moss is organic, and that it's formed in bogs in Canada and other places in the world, it is not renewable because that peat moss takes thousands of years to form. So, yes, organic, yes, good for gardening, but a lot of people have debates on whether or not it's ethical to use peat moss since there is a finite amount of it and it takes thousands of years to form. So use peat moss at your own discretion. And the next thing is, well, I mentioned to look on the plant tags to see what it recommended for planting. A lot of plants come with really generic tags, and it's kind of like a one skill fits all type of thing. And that's not really the best idea for every plant. So look at what your plant says, the tag says, but also look at the name and then look it up online, because every plant has different things that it likes specifically for being planted, and soil and light and water and all of that. So don't always just trust the tags. Don't trust me either, because I only half know what I'm doing. This is just a fun thing for me. So that's all. Go through and water these after you're done planting them all. We did a lot of water in the soil, so we don't have to water them crazy. Just enough to get the mulch really soaked up so that it holds the moisture. Because I'll be back again tomorrow to water them again. And it's really only important to water them every single day for like the first couple weeks while they're really taking. And then after that, you can slow it down to every other day, every few days, and wean it off as the roots get more established. But for now, I'm just gonna keep watering. I think I'm gonna run out of water after I finish this, so I won't be able to do any more planting today. That's one of the fun things about not having water on site. I can only plant so much, and then I run out of water, and that's it. So I'm gonna finish watering these up, and then see if we can find another task, or if we're just gonna wrap it up for the day. All right, so I finished watering everything, and then I started working on mulching the area underneath Jen's swing, but I ran out of mulch, so I'm gonna have to get some more next time I'm out. I think all the sales are done now, so I can't get it 5 for $10 anymore, but I think Walmart has it for like $3, so it'll be a little bit more expensive, but still pretty cheap. Maybe I'll pick up like 10 bags on my way here tomorrow. Anyway, Jen wanted me to do a video of the basement because I haven't in a couple days, so I can show how it's completely dry now. Woo! Just the edges are a little damp still, but not even wet, and even the bottom of the steps dried all up. So we're in excellent shape. I just need to find a day that I'm gonna come up here and deal with that mess, which I'm not really looking forward to. But I think I'm about done for the day. Getting ready to wrap it up here. Like I said earlier, I ran out of water, so I can't really do any more planting. I ran out of mulch, so I can't do any more mulching. I really need both of those to plant anyways, because I need to mulch everything that I plant too. So I'm gonna need to get a lot more of that. Anyway, I'm pretty much out of things that I can do for the day, and I'm still pretty tired from yesterday anyway, so I think I'm just gonna finish cleaning it up and call it a day. Nice fun planting day today here on Hillshed Acres. All right, just arrived on Hillshed for the day. And I noticed something bad that I forgot to do before leaving, and that was put the new bag of birdseed away. So, looks like somebody got into that and had an absolute feast over the last couple days. So, I have to make sure I put what's left away today when I leave. But anyway, I just got here and it's freezing cold. So I'm gonna unload everything. Got more peat moss, more mulch. Got some hay, which is a very big mess. And refilled all of the waters. Oh, Jesus. And got a bunch of little plants. So start with unloading, and then, oh look, Azalea is starting to bloom, the little purple one. How cool. And this one is losing a lot of its flowers. This one is starting to bloom a little more. Nothing yet on this guy. This one's going nuts. This one's got some buds, but nothing yet. Got a few flowers on here, and the reds are doing all right. I think everybody's thirsty from me not being here yesterday, so I get unloaded and start watering. Wow, bird feeder's empty too. Jeez. All right, I need to get to work. All right, I unloaded everything, watered all the plants, fed the birds, and then I decided I just didn't have enough mulch. So I went to Lowe's and got another entire carload. And they had some more different kinds of hostas, so I got 3 more of those little guys for my shade garden. So I think I'm gonna unload everything, and then it's really cold here today and windy, so I might just work on this one little project I had an idea of. But I had an idea for a fun creative project that involves this enormous rock that I got in the wheelbarrow. So I think I'm gonna mess around with that for a little bit, and then maybe cut out of here a little early, go do the rest of the errands I gotta do today, come back tomorrow when it's warmer. Even though it's beautifully sunny today, it's just so cold. Tomorrow's gonna be warm but cloudy, but oh well, probably only a couple more weeks and then it's gonna be really good weather every single day. So I'm gonna unload the car, maybe do a time lapse of me trying to do this thing with the rock, and we'll see where it goes. rocks for Jen into the thing for her to look at later. Anyway, I finished my creative project that I wanted to do today, and it is a rock garden bench seat thing. Woo! So I built this bench out of giant rocks. They're very fun to move. And then I stole all of Jen's plants that she got for her rock garden and planted them on here. So now I'm gonna have to get her a bunch of new stuff. But I think it's a pretty cool seat. It's actually really comfortable, and it'll be really cool once it's got all the stuff growing on it. This top rock was kind of wobbly, so I don't know if you can see in there. I filled it all. I had a bunch of quad left, so I emptied the rest of the tube in there. Maybe it'll stick the two together. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna grab another tube of something and just kind of squirt it all over these rocks to hold them together so they don't ever move at all. But I think it's a pretty cool little thing that came out today. Let's go look at it from the other side. What's this? On the other side you should be able to see the plants really well. Oh yeah, that's neat. So cool. It's gonna be a lot more work. I'm gonna have to get a bunch more of those little rock garden plant things. I think I actually might move this one over to that side just because they make these little tiny juniper pine trees that don't get very big. And I think it might be neat to get one and put it there, especially if I can find the cool cascading ones. But anyway, I'm gonna do a short day today. So it was just this one project and getting all this stuff here. So I'm gonna get cleaned up and head out of here. Run the rest of my errands for the day. Woo! Bye, Hillshed Acres! Alright, today on Hillshed. I forgot to take a video when I first got here, so it's like the middle of the day. I got a load of dirt dumped. I use the majority of this to backfill the other side of the house. I already dumped a couple wheel barrels over here. Fill in the spots that lost a lot of dirt over the winter. So that's what most of that is doing. And it's gonna go on the other side as well. Over here, there's a lot also to be used in fixing up the side yard. Over here, which I've already done, and I smoothed it all out and spread more grass seed, a bunch more Kentucky bluegrass, and then put hay over it. And we're supposed to get rain off and on for like the next 2.5 weeks, so hopefully that grass will start growing really well. It's a different kind of seed than what we used before, and this seed has a coating on it, so hopefully that will help it to not just die and will actually grow something. Most of what we put down before did nothing. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm about to sit down for a minute, catch my breath. I also have been working on this today. So I added some new shelves. I added this, and I attached all the rocks in place. I added this one. Oh, that's not dry yet. But tomorrow, when this is all dry, fill in those 2 areas with dirt, and then things can get planted in them. It'll look really cool. I also replaced all of Jen's plants that I stole yesterday from my project. So got her all new stuff over here, along with all of our other plants. We got a couple little baby spruces, some of these things. And Lowe's today was giving away these spruce saplings. I'm not sure what kind of spruce they are. He just said spruce. The needles, I don't know if it's because it's a younger tree, but the needles are a lot softer than the white spruces that we have. So I'm not sure what it is. It's not a blue spruce, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's all nice and dug up from the truck delivering the dirt. So, also, right over here is where I decided would be a good spot to plant the magnolia tree. So I think that's what I'm gonna do next as soon as my break is done. And then I was thinking over here for the apple tree, I was gonna put it closer to the area, but those branches fill all out, and then I think it would stop a lot of the sun from reaching over there. But right here, I think it's gonna be in a really good spot. I'm just not sure. I'm thinking maybe I should clean up all these rocks first, just to make sure I don't accidentally kill the tree. That would be really sad to destroy my Honeycrisp before I even got to plant it. But anyways, when it is planted, I already cut this thing to go around the base. And it opens up and goes on there like that, and then it makes it so that no rabbits will eat the bottom of it, and help protect the tree until it gets big enough to protect itself. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm gonna keep shoveling dirt, plant that magnolia, and then see where we're at that point. Either I'm gonna keep going and planting more or moving more dirt. I'm not sure yet. Lots of glass though. Anyway, update again in a little while. Getting ready to leave Hillshed for the day. It's a very long day. We did the dirt outside of the door, so now there's a big empty spot underneath the door. So that's all filled back in. And then this side is all graded away further. So hopefully we're just in really good shape now for any sort of rain just not going in the house, hopefully. So that's done. I still have a lot of dirt left, maybe like a third of it. So I'm sure I'll find somewhere to use that up somewhere. Let's see how the tape is holding on the tarp up there. That's probably gonna fill with water. Maybe I'll put another tarp over the top of all that. Anyway, planted the magnolia tree over here. Ended up moving it like 20 times before I finally picked this spot to plant it in. And then I taped it off so that I don't accidentally smash it over. So I think I'll probably just, maybe I'll put that tarp on top too. Call it a day. Bye, Hillshed Acres. Woo. I just arrived on Hillshed for the day. I had to come in and make a stop here. I was planning to go to Ontario Orchards, but I accidentally found a ton of awesome stuff at Lowe's and filled up the car. So let's take a look at what I got. I got some new rhododendrons for Jen's azalea collection. There's this one, which is just starting to bud, and then this one, which she hasn't seen yet, but I think it's really cool. So I got her those. I got a ton of plants that were on clearance, like this yellow guy, mango glow wallflower. I got a couple more phlox that were on sale. I got this thing, dwarf Coreopsis, whatever the hell that is. I got that. I got these new Francis Williams plantain lilies. So some new hostas that are really big. And probably the best find is this pink flowering cherry tree, Kwanzaa cherry, only $38. So I grabbed that. I think we're gonna plant that somewhere in this area. I think it'll do really well. Got some more seeding straw, nicely packaged in a bag, like unlike this crap that was a huge mess. And finally, I got this guy, little juniper, and I'm gonna do kind of a bonsai jar with it up here. And I think it's gonna be really cool. I haven't found the right pot yet, but I still have to go to Ontario Orchards, so maybe I'll find something. Look how this guy's doing. Still planted. That's good news. Wow, look at all the leaves that are coming in. Crazy. All right, I'm gonna run to Ontario Orchards because I am determined to get a Japanese maple tree today. I've been on the search for one for about a month now, and I haven't found the right one. And today's gonna be the day, and it's going right here, and it's gonna happen. Wish me luck. It's a big woodpecker. Let's see how close I can get, if he'll fly away or not. He's huge. He's looking at me too. It's like, why are you coming close to me? Oh, he went around the other side of the tree. What a jerk. I'm gonna go around and see if I can get him. Oh, he flew away. Ooh, he's on a closer tree now. There he is. Look at this guy. Look like Woody the Woodpecker with his big red head. Do it. Do it. Do it. Where are you going? Whoa, so it's you that does that. You freaking maniac. We thought it was a monkey. Jeez. Our trip to Ontario Orchards was a wild success. I ended up with a Japanese maple that wasn't even on my radar. So, very excited to plant this Orange Dream Japanese maple. Looks incredible. How exciting. So, I'm gonna get to work on this. I'm gonna plant this. Plant Jen's new rhododendrons, maybe work on this a little more, and we'll see how long the rain holds off and how far I get. Updates to come. So, I ended up not having as much time as I thought before the rain started. So I've gotten completely soaked, but the good news is the Japanese maple is planted. And it looks beautiful. And then I fixed this area all up. And spread grass. So now the yard is completely done on the side all the way up to the picnic area, which feels pretty awesome to have that big of a section totally done. So I don't feel like getting rained on anymore, so I'm gonna get packed up and head out of here, and we'll see how the weather is tomorrow, whether or not it's gonna cooperate or if I'm gonna get stuck here. Ooh, look. Cardinal. Ooh. I'm getting a bunch of cardinals lately. Oh yeah, a couple more just flew over. One thing I didn't realize was that only the male cardinals are all red, and the female cardinals are like a grayish brown with just a little bit of a pink head. Oh, here comes the rain again. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's starting to pour. So I'm gonna get packed up and get out of here. Bye, hillshed. Bye, cardinals. Just arrived on hillshed, and it is very windy today. Branches everywhere. So far. Oh, dang. Well, that sucks. So I have to fix all of that. I wonder what ended up knocking it down. So all of that fell. Oh, look. Cherry tree fell over. Jeez. Okay. This thing. Cut down. Fell on the fence. It's easy enough to fix. Yeah, there's some branches down. Not too bad. The basement is drier than yesterday, which is cool. Not gonna complain about that. So, on the way here today, went on a bunch of adventures. Got prices for windows, so I'm thinking I'll order the windows in the morning. Now that I know who's got the cheapest, surprisingly. Wow, you hear that wind? That's ridiculous. Jeez. It's like a hurricane here. Alright. Okay. So, basement's nice and dry, and you can actually probably hear me down here. So, found the prices on the windows. I went to try and go to this Japanese maple tree orchard, but it was weird and sketchy and I couldn't figure out how to go there, so that didn't work out. But then on the way here from there, I passed this random sawmill and I decided to go in and ask some questions. And I talked to the owner, and see these 2x12s that I'm using as floor joists? Right now, Home Depot is selling those for $57 a piece, and they're Douglas fir. And this guy at the sawmill told me he could make them for me out of red oak for $10 a piece. So obviously I'm gonna be buying those from that guy, and then I'm gonna be getting all the wood to do the sheathing and everything too. Only problem is he doesn't deliver. I don't have a truck and trailer, so I'm probably gonna have to rent something, but even with that cost, I think I'm still gonna save quite a bit of money, so it's gonna be worth it. So anyway, I'm gonna go back out there and brave the hurricane, see what I can get done today. Maybe I'll set up a time lapse and we'll see what happens. Woo! Another rainy day on hillshed. Everything's soaked and it's pouring. Look at this beautiful Japanese maple though, like an orange dream. Moved all of these blocks. And in the process, I found about 30 or 40 lizards, so I scattered them among the azaleas. There's 2 or 3 in every single one. And I bet they'll do a good job of eating all the bugs that are going to try and hurt the azaleas. So, win-win. They get a nice, beautiful home and food, and we get pretty azaleas and look at lizards. Alright, getting ready to leave. I'll shut up for the day. I remembered to put the bird seed away this time, which is good because I left it out last night and somebody ate like 10 pounds of bird seed. Hoping it's not a bird. There'll be a really fat bird flying around somewhere. Or a bunch of fat chipmunks running around, who knows. Anyway, what I ended up doing today. Was cleaning up a lot of this area. Getting into the rocks. Getting us a little further along. Those huge ones I probably need help to move. Very possibly moved by humans. We'll see. All of this ended up super low, muddy after I got all the rocks out. So I threw some dirt in there. Hopefully that'll help soak it up by tomorrow, so I'm not just playing in the mud. But the rock wall's getting pretty tall. All these giant monsters I got out today. And it looks like it's starting to fall over again, so I'm sure I'll get here tomorrow and the whole thing will be falling over. Oh well. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish cleaning up, go along with this, and get the heck out of here, because tomorrow's gonna be